What's up, lovers of whiskey and watchers of YouTube? I am the Malt Activist, and today I have a super fun video for you guys. Today I am going to taste 4 super smoky, high strength whiskeys, completely blindfolded, and I will tell you which one I like best. This is super exciting because I've picked one expression each from 4 of my favorite distilleries. It's probably my most favorite expression from that distillery, so this should be super fun. In first place, I have the LAPHROAIG 10-year-old cask strength batch 13, one of my favorites. I then have this Diageo special release TALISKER 8. Let's see. Our LAPHROAIG is bottled at 57.9%. Our TALISKER is bottled at, damn son, 59.7%. There you go. You can see that. You can see that. There you go. 59.7%. TALISKER is not playing around. I then have another Diageo special release. This is the LAGAVULIN 12-year-old. That's right. And this one is bottled at 56.5%. I hope you can see that. Yeah. And last but not the least, I have this awesome ARDBEG SUPERNOVA 2019. This is bottled at 53.8%. So we're talking cask strength whiskeys, super smoky. 4 of my favorite expressions from 4 of my favorite distilleries. Now, how do we taste them blind? Very simple. I have 4 glasses in front of me. Each one has a little label at the bottom. As you can see, that is red, that is green, and I have an orange and a silver one. And in case you think I can see through the glass, well, I can't. Can you see that? You can't see the label. So when I'm drinking it, I don't get to see the label. I will hide the base and make sure that I don't cheat. Okay? So first things first. So we have red, orange, silver, and green. Now let's fill our whiskeys. We'll put a little bit at a time. We won't put too much. So let's put the LAPHROAIG cask strength 10-year-old batch 13 in the one labeled red. Let's put the TALISKER 8. We put the TALISKER 8 in the orange glass. There you go. We will then put the LAGAVULIN 12 in the silver glass. And finally, and last but not the least, we will put our ARDBEG SUPERNOVA fittingly in the green glass. Okay, so now we have our drinks. In the glasses. Let me make a note of it first. So there you have it, 4 whiskeys in 4 different glasses. Just to be 100%, we have LAPHROAIG in the red glass. We have TALISKER in the orange glass. We have LAGAVULIN in the silver glass. And finally, we have ARDBEG in the green glass. And I assure you, if you see down through the thing, there's no way you can see the label at the bottom. So there you go. And now let's mix them up. You wanna see? All right, let's do this. I promise you, I have no clue which glass holds which whiskey. In fact, I'm going to do a bit more without looking. I'm not looking. I've done. It's just, you guys, you just have to trust me that I don't know. And seriously, if you think I know by this time, then you think I'm a genius. That I'm some sort of genius. So there you go. Finally, we did it. We have 4 whiskeys and 4 glasses, and we don't know which one is which. Okay, let's start with whiskey number 1. All right, whiskey number 1. That's what it looks like. I have no idea what's in it. Very sooty, very charry. Kippers on toast. Fishnets, very briny. I get hits of citrus, warm lemon, slight lime, some pineapple. I think I know which one this is, but I will not say anything because I did a video a few months ago where I tried to blind taste 3 different Taliskers, and it was hell. I got them all wrong. So I am not going to guess which whiskey is which. Maybe I will towards the end, but right now this is just about which whiskey I like best. So I like the nose on this one. It's a very familiar nose, as actually all of them are familiar noses. Yeah, very happy with this nose. So I'm going to cover the base. Woo! Lovely mouthfeel. Again, very ashy, very sooty, very tarry. Lots of black and white peppers. That citrus is quite sharp in there. It's more lime than lemon on the palate. Hints of vanilla and a very big oak towards the end. So, this is gorgeous. This is absolutely fantastic. I love it. I can hazard a guess which one this is, but you know what? Don't hold me to it. Please don't hold me to it, because I'm not very good at guessing. I'm not very good at guessing whiskeys. So please don't hold me to it. You know what? I'm going to hazard a guess right at the end. So whiskey number 1, we really like. I'm going to give whiskey number 1. Let's give it points. Otherwise, how are we going to know which one is best? So let's give it an 8.5. I think 8.5 or an A- is a good score for a whiskey. And I really like it. So 8.5 A- to whiskey number 1. Okay, now whiskey number 2. Whiskey number 2, quite pale in color. So I'm gonna guess no color added here. Very different from whiskey number 1. I would have expected it to be a lot more smoky and sooty, but it's not. It's a lot more subdued. This is more hard-boiled sweets. More hard-boiled sweets, citrus sweets, maybe even like a sweet melon in here as well. There is this characteristic of the smoke and the peat, but it's very subdued. Lots of vanilla in here now. This one is definitely more fruity than the first one. Interesting. Interesting nose. I prefer the nose to the first one because I think it's more smoky, more charred, and this one isn't. But that's just a personal preference of mine. I like this. I like this nose as well. All right, let's drink it. Chin chin. Wow. Whoa. So much red fruits and iodine, grapes, cherry licorice. The smoke and peat is there, and now you have the black peppers and that oak rounding this off. Oh, what a fantastic mouthfeel this is. Just absolutely stunning. Big. I like this better on the palate than I did the first one. This is, whoa, this seems like much higher strength as well, which makes me think I know what this one is. But again, I won't hazard a guess just yet. Oh wow, this is very, very big on the palate, and I think it has to do with the high percentage of alcohol. I definitely found more alcohol on this than I did on whiskey number one, but it's so well balanced, even with the high alcohol. It really works. The flavors still come through. I can only imagine how good this is with a few drops of water. I won't put them in now, but guaranteed. I think this will do amazing with water as well. So, whoa, definitely like this one. Now, this is interesting. I don't know which one is better. I think the mouthfeel, the palate on this is better, but the nose on the first one was better. So, wow. Oops, sorry, almost looked. Ooh, lots of red fruit and iodine. Now I'm torn. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give the palate greater weightage than I do the nose. And hence, for me, this whiskey is just a smidge better than whiskey number one. And so I'd like to give it an 8.8. Maybe like an A. Yeah, so I'll give it an 8.8 A. Which is barely better than whiskey number one, which is also amazing. But I find this one on the palate is a lot more challenging, a lot more complex, much bigger, bolder flavors, and that really comes through, which is so surprising because the nose is quite subdued compared to whiskey number one. So overall, I think whiskey number two just a hair better than whiskey number one. Okay, onwards to whiskey number three. Whiskey number three. This nose is almost a mix of whiskey number one, whiskey number two, in that you get the char and the soot and the tar, but this is a lot more fruity. This has a lot more milk chocolate, butterscotch, vanilla, dry oak. Yeah, so I think this nose is somewhere in between whiskey one, whiskey number two. I prefer the nose of whiskey number one compared to this. Still a very good nose. I like it. Let's drink. Very big, bold, lots of iodine, bandages, dark chocolate, oak, black pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg. No, not nutmeg, not cinnamon. Dry, more like allspice. Interesting, again, that red fruit licorice overtone as well. So again, very big on the palate. Very, very big on the palate, not as big on the nose. Again, I think it's because of the high strength of this whiskey. And I mean that in like a good way, in a fantastic way. Wow. Do I like this better than whiskey number two? No, I think whiskey number two is still better than this. I find whiskey number two to have a far more complex palate. I will rate this very similar to whiskey number one in terms of likability and overall quality. I'm going to give it an 8.5 A-. So this one is whiskey number three is tied with whiskey number one in second place, and whiskey number two is right now the leader at 8.8. And last but not the least, whiskey number four. Okay. Whoa, completely different. This smells younger, more fainty, more varnish, more furniture polish. But with the lemon and lime, linseed oil. Interesting. Not a bad nose, but I think the weakest of all the three. So for me, this is my least favorite nose. Still a good nose though, but not spectacular. Okay, chin chin. Wow. Sugarcane. Lemon, lime, very citrusy. The varnish is there, that linseed oil is there. White peppers, very oily. White peppers. Yeah, a little one-dimensional for me. Ooh, now I'm getting a hint of iodine right at the back. And some licorice. Wow. I think my least favorite of all the four, I'd give this, but still a very good whiskey, mind you. So I'd give this like an 8.2 B+. Wow. Again, very good. Again, very good. But not as good as the other three, which are actually quite spectacular. So if I was to rate them, I'd say whiskey number 2 is in first place, whiskey number 1 and 3 in second place, and whiskey number 4 in fourth place. Wow. Okay. Now, okay, before I reveal them, let me try and guess what I think is which whiskey. So I'm going to guess that whiskey number 1 is the ARDBEG Supernova, the green label. All right, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I got one right. Whiskey number 2, I think, is the Talisker 8, and that would be the orange seal. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Well done, sir. There you go. Okay, 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2 ain't bad. And that leaves me with the LAPHROAIG and the Lagavulin. And I think for whiskey number 3, I'm going to go with the LAPHROAIG, which should be the red label. Yes, it is. Which would mean our last and final whiskey is the Lagavulin 12, which is the silver label. Wow. So I got them correct, which is, thank you God. I'm not going to be humiliated on the internet anymore. But very interesting. I would not have guessed that I would have personally preferred the Talisker 8 over the ARDBEG Supernova 2019, because that is one of my favorite whiskeys, and over the LAPHROAIG 10 Cask Strength Batch 13, which is also one of my absolute favorite whiskeys in the whole world. That is eye-opening and also very interesting, and I love, and this is the Talisker with the orange. Man, whoa, this is hands down for me the winner from all these 4 whiskeys. It is so complex, it's so explosive on the palate, and I think the high strength really amps up all the flavors and drives everything home, and I love it for that. I think the ARDBEG and the LAPHROAIG they're an essay in balance, and they're lovely balanced whiskeys, and I think that's what I love about them. They're consistently amazing, and I'm sort of so happy to have these on my shelves. And finally, of course, the Lagavulin 12. Again, a very good whiskey. This time, in comparison to the other whiskeys, I felt this one had more faints and more varnishy sort of linseed oil characteristic, which is not a bad thing, but in relation to the 3 other whiskeys that we had, I felt it did not deliver as much as the other ones, even though I've just done a review of this whiskey and it's absolutely amazing. But when you compare it to the other 3, it brings out a lot more of the varnish and the linseed oil side of this whiskey versus the more fruitier, more balanced side of the other 3 that we've just tasted. So, wow. First of all, I'm happy I got them right. Woohoo! That's a relief. And very interesting to know that the Talisker 8 came out on top. That's very interesting for me. So, wow. I think this was a great exercise. I think this was super fun. I loved drinking all of them. I think I would gladly sit and drink an entire bottle of any one of these whiskeys on any given evening if you were to give them to me. So thank you. Wow, this was awesome fun. Tell me which one is your favorite tipple from these 4 expressions. Put them down in the comments below and we'll have a look and we'll have a conversation. In the meantime, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me for this little video that I put together. If you're not a member, please subscribe, like, and share this video. It helps in more ways than you can imagine. So thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for being and watching this video. I'm the Malt Activist. Until next time, peace.